DreamHack Masters Las Vegas is brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, Monster Energy, live at MGM Grand.
Two titans of Counter-Strike are about to clash to survive in DreamHack Masters. Gambit causing such an upset and a stir in Group B has left both Fnatic and Virtus.Pro clawing for just one spot left in their group and to get to not only the arena but to the playoffs and to a closer slice of that $450,000. I'm joined by Duncan Thorin Shields, Jason Moses O'Toole, and a very fresh-faced and ready to rock Janko YNK Paunovic. So, I mean, we have to start by quickly reminding you, if you did just miss it, a stomping to start off our day. We were just briefing Janko about it, but Duncan, you were describing it as a very one-sided affair. Just seeing the boys from Optic get sent home with a tail between their legs.
Yeah, and obviously, if in theory the weakest player on the winning team, MSL in this case, has a monster performance like that, it's going to also make it even more one-sided because we know how talented the rest of that team is. So I think it could have been a closer game in that sense, but I mean, not getting it together, it looks like.
It does indeed, and it does, of course, make VP and Fnatic look all the more appetizing. Now, Janko, when you see this happening, one team going home between Virtus.Pro and Fnatic, where does your mind immediately jump to? Do you look at Fnatic to see them as the kind of the weaker animal in this battle?
First thought is, how the times have changed. Like, you would never imagine this being a matchup for the, decider who goes home, who makes it to the playoffs. So it is obviously by some best-of-one upsets that we have this game, and Fnatic did just recently go back to the old lineup. So I'm very, very excited for this matchup simply because of, the little grudge that we have between these two teams. Flasha saying that people are probably scared of them a little bit, that they've come back together in this lineup. Taz saying that there's no way they're scared of them. They want to play against them. So I think it's going to be super interesting. It is going to be interesting. And just rehashing what Janko's already started, Jason, I mean, Taz in the interview with Suit just basically stated that if they do, or if 5 people hit all their shots, they will lose. But that's a rarity, and he's not expecting it to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, he seemed to have a very good read on it, because then we saw Fnatic against Gambit not hitting their shots and just get wiped off the map. Really, I mean, to converse those, or I mean, to look at those two interviews when JW talked to Smix, he didn't seem confident at all. And Fnatic is the team that usually has those very like braggadocious interviews, like Olaf always saying, we just win, we're Fnatic. This is just what we do. JW didn't impart that confidence whatsoever. I think that's the worrying thing for Fnatic is, the lineup is the same on paper, but none of these players at the moment seem like they're playing at any level that we're used to seeing it.
We can bring up the group as well, just to kind of demonstrate what we're talking about, that best-of-one upset. Gambit taking that top spot versus Virtus.Pro, a 16-10 scoreline, getting to see Gambit continue their untouched and untarnished record on Cobblestone. Very impressive from them, and I mean, it's a discussion to start having very early on in this one, Duncan, is regarding how you think this map and this best-of-3 could go, because I think it's probably going to be a very influential factor, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, you absolutely have to say that the map veto advantage goes to Virtus.Pro here. They're a very, very deep team. I mean, especially when you add in that we already saw Fnatic play Inferno and it went really badly. So that's one of the maps they needed actually in their pool. They needed that on their side to potentially have as a joker pick here. Because think about what maps is Virtus.Pro going to be good on. We know they're good on Cobblestone despite that loss.
Cobble.
Well, that's one that Fnatic probably wanted in the mix there. Now, maybe Fnatic can go to something like Cash. That's maybe like a bright spot for them. Maybe they think that's like, in theory, one of the weaker ones. But Virtus.Pro, they know that they can force the nuke ban, which happens anywhere with Fnatic. So I feel like at the moment, if you're Fnatic, okay, let's say you can take Cash. That's not even guaranteed as a win. That's going to be very individually skill-based. And where are you even going for a third map? It's hard to see how you're going to get a lot of advantages in this series.
I feel like the only issue that maybe VP has is they can be a little bit unsure of what to pick because if Nuke is gone, then you're looking probably towards someone like Train or Overpass.
Interesting.
But with this Fnatic lineup, because of how much individual skill they've got, even playing a map like Train against them can be dangerous, because if they get rolling on the CT side, they can really shut you down. But the VP at the end of the day is a team that's so proficient on the T side. They have so many tools in their playbook that I think they'll be able to manage with whatever Fnatic has to offer.
So, I mean, a lot of faith for Virtus.Pro, but while we are talking about Fnatic, one man on our screens there, Mr. Olof, Duncan. It's always a very interesting discussion to have with, the previous former world's best player. Struck by injury, returns, never quite finds that same form. Is this kind of the end of the Olof story? If this was the book of Olof, it would end with, and then this gang got back together again, and he never found his former glory.
I mean, it does seem like he won't get to that level, but it was so, supernaturally high. Like no one's going to get to that level. There's very few people even have a shot at it. Maybe like a Nico, Cold Zero. Yeah, those guys could maybe take a shot at it. For me, this is actually the ideal sort of team to be in, because they're trying to play with a lot of players who have skill and a lot of players who have effective roles. So in that world, he doesn't have to be potentially, actually, and they could still be a very, very good team. To me, though, that puts more pressure on Flusher. It means people like Dennis, they have to play a lot better themselves. Certainly capable of it, but it's not going to be the old team where you start with Olofmeister being the best and then you add in the pieces around that.
It was, I mean, it's an exception to the rule, right? That seems to be the general consensus, is that whatever happened with Fnatic will never happen again. Now, going up against them is Virtus.Pro, and we've already started singing their praises in terms of the depth of their map pool. We'll get to the vetoes in just a moment, but I want you to take them from an individual standpoint here, Janko. We've seen a bit of a transition towards Pasha and his individual performance as one name to mention, especially at that major.
Yeah, I think he's a vital part of the team. I say it all the time because of his playstyle. It's very unique, very aggressive. At times you would look at his decision making and think, well, maybe that's not the best decision you can make in that certain situation, but he can just somehow make it work. In that sense, similar to JW and how he likes to play the game. So that can be extremely frustrating for the opponents, and he's just unpredictable. And you can't count on Pasha is going to do X or Y in a specific situation.
These guys are innately unique.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're just so good at being very versatile in their roles, and that's what makes them so good in so many different situations. That's what makes them able to come back into rounds where it seems like they're just down and out of it, like they're at a loss, because players know exactly what to do because they've played so many different styles. They've had to adjust so many different times to accommodate each other, and it really, I mean, Snax is always going to be the one, as well as Pasha is playing recently. Snax is always going to be the one you look to lead the way. And then there's like the unique players. Like if we do go to a Train, for instance, Taz is unreal on that map. Like with the amount of experience they have in certain situations, I mean, Taz is just like one of the players that on Train just goes to a whole new level, much like we see with Kerrigan on Mirage has increased. I still think that if this team wants to be a consistent threat at being the best team in the world and winning events, I think Neo is the X factor that's got to have impact. I think he's the player. When we saw them towards they had a rough last year to start with, and they started picking it up right after obviously E-League Season 1 when they win, and it was all Neo's increased performance in game leading and finding ways to have impact on the server. That's what kind of pushed them over the top.
From being demoted in the competitive Pro League online to being in the grand final of a major is certainly quite the turnaround, and it looks like they're on an upward trajectory here. Duncan, we are ready for those maps though, and so let's kind of continue that brainstorming session. The things that popped up: Overpass, Train, Cash as a potential kind of wild card for Fnatic, but haven't we seen examples of Fnatic's Cash actually falling flat even when they considered it their strength?
I think VP is going to ban it.
Okay, take it away.
With Dust 2 out of the pool, they are probably thinking Fnatic is not going to pick Inferno, no reason for us to ban it, so I think they just get rid of it.
Yeah, ideally you want actually Fnatic to be the one that picks Cobblestone and thinks, well, that's our best chance, and then VP can kind of do what the guys from North just did, which is what we play it as well, so we'll have that as our chance to close the series. So, obvious nuke ban there. I mean, you have to generally do it against VP anyway, but Fnatic just has never played the map.
Is that the same as Cloud9 kind of thing? Is it just their insta-veto now?
So I mean, they always used to ban it, even though it was the old version before the rework. So actually, yeah, I think Cash is a smart ban there, because the difference is VP can play anything Fnatic picks at this point. Meanwhile, the guys from VP, they have their pick of the litter as to what they want to pick. Like, they could just pick Overpass and think, well, previous Fnatic are pretty ropey on Overpass. Godsent didn't really have the talent to win on that one. So they've actually gone with Mirage as the pick here from Fnatic. Obviously, VP always comfortable playing that map.
Yep.
And I actually have to say, for Fnatic, you can't necessarily know that they're certain to win that one. So they've gone with Cobble as their pick. Now, this is actually Virtus.Pro doing what they did against Gambit here. This is a very ballsy pick, because you are literally picking what on paper should be a strong map for Fnatic, but you're saying, I think we're better.
It's not just the fact that, whether it's a strong map for Fnatic or not, it's a map that's easier to play on the T side.
It looks like we're going to have Train as the last one, I
Then
think, yeah.
Overpass or Train for them. So, sure, VP is extremely strong on the map, but maybe you want to play something that requires a bit more teamwork.
It is going to happen.
Yeah, this is a great map veto for Virtus.Pro here. They could literally win any of these maps.
I mean, I think also this is where you really kind of is a bummer that Fnatic lost that Inferno against Gambit earlier in the tournament, because if you remember when Virtus.Pro was really struggling, one of the things they always had going for them was the X factor, that they were one of the first teams that was so good on nuke, so they always had that advantage in the veto phase. Fnatic dropping that Inferno so hard, they have no advantages at this one.
Do you feel like Fnatic kinda had to go for Inferno despite they lost it to have, because all these maps, VPs, they can beat Fnatic on any of them. They're the favorite on all three maps.
And we haven't seen VP on Inferno, so it might have been worth it as a crazy pick. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's on the other side, I think it's a good show of confidence from Fnatic that they don't think that they need to throw a curveball and pick Inferno despite losing it, and they're thinking we can beat them on any of their maps.
Again, though, I mean, you do have to go to that Cobble pick from VP and just say, yes, you are probably the better team on it, but why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep giving your team like the map that they would like to have? Like,
but that is also what they did in that E-League final, though, where they just rolled over him,
right? Yeah,
which was pretty baller.
But it is just like, stop doing it. Why even put yourself at risk? It's just kind of very, very curious to me.
So I mean, this is also they fell to Gambit, right? We were saying this before, is that they knew Gambit were good at Cobble. They brought the fight to Gambit on Cobble, and it's probably not in the same level, would you say, Duncan, here? I mean, we know Gambit's Cobble was unbeatable at this point in time. Fnatic, surely this was just the lesser of two evils.
I mean, the thing is, Fnatic lineups, especially this one, was very, very good on Cobble, and even the last Fnatic, still pretty good on it. So I actually think for Virtus.Pro, here's the thing, I didn't utterly criticize it against Gambit, because they certainly could have won. They could have just beaten Gambit on it, in which case it wouldn't have mattered. It's just that you gave them a little bit of a way in, and then in that case, they took advantage of it. In this one, I mean, Fnatic has to prove that they can win their own map.
Fnatic was very good on Cobble, and maybe even is now. The difference is stylistically, they're a very different team to Gambit. So maybe VP is thinking, yeah, with how Fnatic plays Cobble, we can deal with that. You should look out for Fnatic ending in general, not just on Cobble, ending the rounds pretty early on, just doing something simple, trying to brute force their way in, get the trade, get to the bomb site, plant the bomb, because that's where your individual skill can really come to shine. When you plant the bomb and have like a 3v3, 2v3, 3v4, right? That's where your individuals can make a play and win you the round. That way, you can't really expect to out-strategize VP if you're Fnatic.
And with that, just wrap into your prediction, maybe some win conditions.
Start rapping.
For you. Yeah, go, drop it.
Jesus.
You've got so many talents, man of many skills.
Not bad, right?
Yeah. We will not be returning, yes. So.
I'll go with VP. I feel that it's not 2016. That the meta has changed a little bit. It's not as it's much more difficult to overcome your opponents by sheer individual skill. As for the maps, I'll give Fnatic Mirage. I'll say 2-1 VP.
All right, giving Fnatic that map. And now, Jason, what are you saying?
I'm going to go VP 2-0. I think Mirage is going to be a map. Obviously, we've seen how good VP's been on it for a long period of time. I think they're going to be able to take that map. And then when it comes down to Cobble, I think it's going to have to be those insane individual performances for Fnatic. And the good thing for them, and this is why I think that pick is crazy a little bit from VP, is as uncomfortable as we've seen Fnatic individually, they're all going to be very happy and comfortable with Cobble. They've always liked it. Olaf especially, knows how to play this map very intimately. So that's where they have a chance, but I'm still taking 2-0.
Okay, so it's all going one way towards the polls. Duncan, are you going to tip the scales in any way?
No, I do think this Fnatic team will be a great team again. I think they can be a champion one day. It won't be today, though. And so they still have to prove to me that they can win Mirage. Like that's not a certainty for me at all. And I haven't seen the stars come out yet. That's where I'll get excited if it can happen. So I'll say Virtus.Pro win 2-0.
Okay, so the general consensus is VP take today, but we would still like to see a glimmer of the Fnatic stars that we know they can be. That's a pretty good takeaway, good summary. We can introduce two separate stars as well, though. Anders and Semler are going to be casting this one. We can go ahead and check in with them. A Dane and a Frenchman hanging out, talking about the favorite
Does Semler actually dare to make a prediction this time, or will he just stay quiet?
No, I'm going with Virtus.Pro. Pretty clear, I think. Okay. I mean, we have seen some individual level, right? Like you're talking about the stars, Alex, with Olafmeister, Crims. Like we've seen some plays from them. Certainly, Olafmeister's been leading the way so far in the groups, but is it going to be enough? It's really fallen to individual skill for Fnatic so far. You can't really look to the Misfits game. Fnatic are just going to outclass Misfits on every level, so it's not really a telling match to go into this next one.
Anders, what do you make of Janko's statement regarding the fact that we've moved from a meta where it was more rewarding to just be strong individuals and you have to have a bit more to your game now?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, I also think even if you are going to go for the style lineup, then you still need the chemistry to work. Like, if you really wanted to assemble a team of 5-star players, then they all have to feel great every single game and just run. That's clearly not the case in Fnatic. Even when you see like the camera shots of them, they look so deflated. So if you wanted to try it, then you'd have to sort of try it all the way, I feel like.
All right, will Fnatic be deflated or elated? I'll let you guys find out.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Once again, we are going to head into the game. Here's a best of 3. Winner gets to go to the quarterfinals. Loser is out. That's the format here. And we've got Virtus.Pro playing Fnatic. I don't know. I'm excited about this game. I obviously think Virtus.Pro is the favorite team here. They did come second at the major, so you can't really take that away from them. I mean, they've had practically won the major on that last train map. So I feel like at this point, you've got to say that they're the better team. And Fnatic, they've got to show something here. They've got to upset and surprise us.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Virtus.Pro, they have a level... They tend to play to their opponent's level. That is like kind of their weakness, right? Their Achilles heel, you can say, is just because when they play against inferior opponents, sometimes it's much closer than it should be, right? VP kind of have to fight a little bit harder than they really should, considering, you know, this team on paper and just the depth that they have. They're the longest standing roster that we have in CSGO, period. Almost in any esport as far as I know. So, I mean, VP have a lot going for them. Whereas, yeah, this is just, yes, okay, this was the god tier Fnatic roster that dominated CSGO. But do they have that kind of level to come back on? I think Flush is calling as well. So, I mean, like, is he going to feel comfortable coming back into it? Are they just going to call more of the same? He hasn't had any time to come up with anything new if they're working on strats. I feel like there's a lot going against Fnatic coming into this matchup. VP should be the ones to lock it down.
We're about to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. First map up, Mirage. It's going to be Fnatic starting on the CT side and Virtus.Pro on the terrorist side. And already, looking at the buy from Virtus.Pro, you can tell that something is up. And even the direction they're going at, if it wasn't clear already, is going to be an A push. The smokes meant to make sure those USPs long range are not going to be nearly as effective, but those 2 HE grenades, they could go towards Crim's position. He could be gone without having said it. He doesn't even have armor. This could be very bad for Crims. Dennis trying to shot through. The smokes are in. Crims, you've got to be very careful. 1 grenade already out. The second one, he falls far enough back, otherwise that could have been devastating. But now, Virtus.Pro on the site, and they're going to continue into CT spawn as the bomb is going down. This is a very powerful strat coming out of Virtus.Pro. A lot of aggression behind this one. Dennis is going to get the first kill, though, taking down Taz. He falls right afterwards. Flusher trying to follow it up, and they're doing the damage for Fnatic.
Yeah, they're hesitating, Virtus.Pro. This isn't characteristic of them. They need to get in here and start winning these fights. Bialy will be able to pick up one. Neo and Pasha, though, bring it back, and now it's Flusher alone. Just like that, he's on 9 HP in a 1v2, but not for long. Pasha puts him out of his misery. It's a 1-0 lead for Virtus.Pro, picking up the pistol round on T side. It starts out great, right? You know, T side, VP, they're monsters. That's the Virtus plow. It's a tough start for Fnatic, right? When you have to start on defense, yes, it's Mirage, yes, it's CT sided, but do you really want, you know, VP setting the pace? This is what we can expect from Virtus.Pro. No time wasted, very aggressive strat, and then never stopping the fight after that.
I mean, you think about how much worse it would have been if Crims had just immediately got shot down there. Did manage to stay alive long enough to buy some time for his teammates. Now, AKs versus armor and pistols. So Fnatic actually buying a lot into this round, and so far it's Snacks coming up with an early double kill here.
Yeah, it's just anti-eco. And VP moving together as a unit. Textbook stuff coming out from the Polish team. Taz on the edge, though, on the flank finds while Olofmeister looking the wrong way. So it's going to be Crims and JW, last 2 alive. Crims not in a bad spot.
Why did Olof keep looking the other way? That's what I'm wondering.
He just accepted his fate, Anders. He realized I'm a dead man.
Yeah, I'm not going to try this.
Just like Crims.
Leaves JW halfway across the map with Deagle. No one anywhere near him at this point in time. What I really like about that pistol round, just to return to that while we're waiting to see if anyone's going to find JW. They planted the position, the default plant in the spot, and they can do that because they're pushing into CT spawn. They don't have to worry about anyone sort of shooting the bomb planter there. So it's just, in every way, it works really well. Both the smokes going down toward jungle and connector, and just very hard to stop if you're Virtus.Pro, or sorry, if you're Fnatic there.
Well, especially with the HEs to pave the way. If your whole goal is to push into CT, and you're just looking to soften up the defense, when you do go for that push with the 3 players, you're chucking HEs in there to hope to do a little bit more damage to make your life easier with the Glock, just because you're not getting that one-shot headshot if they're at range. You need them to be close, and you need them to be peppered. So, I mean, I like it from VP. This is the kind of VP that we can expect to see. And this will be the difference, I think, between Virtus.Pro and Fnatic. VP will have finely tuned strats that they can fall back on, whereas, you know, Fnatic are going to rely on the individual plays. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff from Olofmeister so far in the groups, but it's a tall order, right? Again, you're not playing Misfits. You're playing one of the best teams in the world.
In this round, they can't really do much. JW managed to save the Deagle and the armor, so maybe he could find a kill somewhere. He's currently running into mid that window, so it's going to be an early battle for him. They make sure and flash so that he can't just sit and wait. And this should be another fairly easy cleanup round for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, Bialy's the only one really at risk, but he had the UMP. So him out on the edge, Taz with the UMP as well. And so you can see, even this, where Virtus.Pro, their killer unit, right, their death ball, it's the 3 AKs, top mid, looking for long-range fights. They're not going to go close quarters. And on the flanks, that's where you have your SMGs. That's where it's like, oh, hey, if we lose an UMP, if this guy gets jumped because he runs into a stack or something, it's not the end of the world. We haven't really given Fnatic anything. We get the info, and we can proceed from there with that killer unit that's still together. Looks like it's going to be a split onto B here.
Taz leading the way. Not really afraid. There's the grenade on Olof, and Flusher goes down by the bench as well. So, yes, no problems at all right now for the Polish side. They're not worried at all. Flawless round coming in. 3-0 in favor of Virtus.Pro with, the kills being spread fairly evenly. Fnatic getting a first chance here to really answer back, and I wonder how they're going to play it. You know, I think there's always a temptation if you're on the CT side and use your first rifle round to just play the default, right? Because you always feel like you're taking risks and pushing aggressively, so you save that to later. But I almost wish they would just try and go a bit crazy here right off the bat.
Let's see the mid control. You got that deep short smoke going down already. From Virtus.Pro, and JW getting tagged down to 7 HP. Way too close a call. Flusher puts his smoke out. And I mean, these nades are so valuable right now for Virtus.Pro. I love the first contact here from VP where they're trying to push aggro to force the utility out of Fnatic. They know that Fnatic aren't going to have many nades to work with, that they're going to be low on eco. They have 4 flashes and a single smoke grenade left, Fnatic, and we're a minute 20 still to go in this round. VP now can just slow down the pace and play the nade advantage.
Dennis very aggressive on that A ramp. If he takes down Bialy, a lot of this push is going to be gone. The bomb is just making his way back. That's a very important kill for Dennis there. That's going to slow Virtus.Pro down quite a bit.
Yeah, we're seeing actually very... Whoa, Snacks, what a kill from him, but Crims is there to trade. Pasha still alive, though. He's going to spot. Crims making the play. Behind Firebox, looking for the shot. Pasha has to worry about his flank as well. He doesn't have anybody to watch his back there. Neo still rotating in with the bomb, only just now making it to bottom connector.
Taz is coming in from T-spawn here, so timing is going to be everything right now, and it won't be easy at all. Dennis also has a Molotov, and that's very important to keep your eye on here. With 35 seconds, that Molotov could win them the round. There's Crims taking a kill on Neo, going for a bit more. He actually lands the headshot on Taz. My God, Crims is playing well at the moment, and Dennis also picking up a kill. Pasha going to be going down, and Fnatic coming back with the first rifle round win, and only losing 2 players, and that's in spite of the fact that JW was down to 7 health in the first couple of seconds there.
Flush is too happy with himself right now. He's not going to give you your fist bump off. Gonna make you wait for it. I'm just a little confused when it comes to this round, just because VP, they did a great job of forcing the nades out of Fnatic. Sure, they lose Bialy here in the opener, but they still have the 4 players with utility to follow up. And we didn't really see a single nade get thrown out onto that A site to try and stumble the defense there for Fnatic. VP, they just went in looking for duels. They played into Fnatic's hands. So a questionable round there from VP, but it's not all done. They had such a strong start in the half that they have plenty of money for a full buy left.
High ground advantage for JW. You could see the feet of Snacks a bit before Snacks could see him. Bialy going to be sneaking in. I think what they wanted really, Virtus.Pro, in that last round was to take connector control and have Fnatic compete them eventually, you know, sort of, you know, go look for them, and then they would get the kills, but that never really happened. So eventually they just had to go look themselves, and it took a patience for Fnatic, in fact, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's that legendary teamwork that Fnatic have, right? It was unreal. The hive mind that they used to be able to use. Whenever they had an advantage, it was so rare that they would make a mistake, that somebody would step out, and it's just the coordination that they had together as a unit. That's what made them so powerful, in fact. Just like, not only did they have the raw aim, but their coordination, their teamwork after that was sick. Still capable of doing that as well, this roster. They definitely have the talent, but it looks like VP, they started with the bomb over in Palace on A. Now it's time to hit short. It looks like with that bomb carried through. Flusha, does he get the timing? Yes, he does. Bialy looking the wrong way, and Flusha sprays down Pasha as well. Perfect work from Flusha. What a hold.
5 health, and he gets that last headshot. Virtus.Pro now in a lot of trouble here. They're going to be out of money, and even worse, Fnatic are getting some, well, what looks like it's about to be a flawless round, and in fact it will be. So 2 rounds here in a row for the Swedish side. The money is definitely there, and I guess Virtus.Pro could go for a buy if they really wanted to. They would 3 AKs and some Tech 9s, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So not too worried about this. It's interesting. Fnatic are really letting Virtus.Pro get the mid control. They're not worried about that part of it. They did it the previous round as well, where Virtus.Pro were up and connected. This time they were on catwalk. Right. Just saying, fine, go and get the mid control, but we're not going to let you pass these points.
I almost want to CPP with round where it's just like Tech 9 and a couple flashes. Because these nades, when it actually comes to committing to a push or anything of the sort, we're really not seeing it here from VP. It looks like it's going to be a change of pace. Now they're going to go for something constructed. They've gone for the aim fights. Hasn't worked out. That's definitely helped Fnatic 2 rounds in a row now. It's time to go for something more constructed here from VP, and it's going to be a very quick execute onto the B site.
Good movement from Olofmeister right now. That even drops the bomb, and now he's going to go for a secondary spray. Can't pick up Taz, though, who enters the bomb side with 2 headshots, taking down both Flusher and Olof. That is a nice way to get started, but this is the ace up the sleeve. JW walking in, a mega fast rotation, looking for the kill, but he actually jumps the gun. Now they know where he is. He still picks up a kill on Taz. And Virtus.Pro, they're kind of weirdly boxed in right now. They need to get a quick kill on someone, and Snack's going to be in charge of that. Another flank coming in from the hallways. Neo winning the fight against JW, and now Crim's alone, and he's got no way of knowing where Pasha's coming from. He takes the kill on Neo, but how unlikely is it there's going to be a second player up there?
That's so unfortunate for Crims. The bomb was planted for him as well. That would have put Pasha in such an awkward position. Instead, it's Pasha catching him looking the wrong way. And we have a 1v1 scenario that actually goes towards VP, but off of the back of an actual execute. So I'm curious to see if VP are just going to go back to that, right? Start just throwing out some structured play here at Fnatic to see how it sticks. Great double entry from Taz as well. That made the difference. That really did. He really did come through for his team in that round.
Yeah, very well done. I like the fact that as soon as he saw the grenades coming in, he just fell back to the safer spot to try and play from there. I definitely prefer when people do that as opposed to fighting at the window. Nice shot from JW. Taking down Pasha, immediately aware that someone could be up in these apartments. Virtus.Pro, again, they get the mid control, but they've given up Pasha for it.
Now, this is still positioned exactly. Had that worked,
he hit that shot on Neo.
He got that wall bang, but if Neo picks up that kill on JW, we're right back in the action here for VP. Now, Fnatic are aware that there is a possible flank. Not going to help them, though. Snacks will find the kill on Crims, and JW has to worry about 2 angles. He could get closed in on here. The one thing that he's sure about at this point is that Dennis is holding ramp. Nobody coming from there. He doesn't have to worry about that angle for now. So it's a full focus on mid for him. Taz, though, gets the shot on Olofmeister, opening up the B site.
That's big trouble. Flusher here with a C-set 75. But it is Flusher after all. We've seen him work some real magic with his gun in the past. JW patiently waiting for Neo, and that's going to be rewarded. He's picked up the M4, but he goes right into Bialy. Just not ready for it. And I almost wish anyway that he would have tried to sort of hide and buy more time. Just if you look at where his teammates are, even if he wins the first fight and makes it, the chances are the other 2 players are going to come for him really quick, and there's no way his teammates can be there in time. So would have been fun to see what happened there, but obviously they're going to save what they can. It will be 5-2 favoring Virtus.Pro.
And a chance now for VP to get their feet back under him. Yes, they'll save some guns here, Fnatic. It would be classic Fnatic for them to go for a force behind this. They have the AWP, they have the M4. For the remaining 3 to just go Deagle, CZ, and just try and get into VP's face, go for some aggressive mid control, try and really take the fight to VP.
Yeah, and that's why I answered that question from Alex, and the thing that Janko was talking about, you know, that maybe the sort of where we've moved past the time in which you could just have 5 superstars and everyone was just, you know, really good at the game and run around.
Right.
If you're going to have that, then you should probably go for some sort of crazy force. Now, if you really feel like that this tactic works, then you have to commit to it, right? If you're trying to play like a more slow and more sort of well-paced game, then the Virtus probably might come out on top on that one.
I mean, it's a double eco scenario now for Fnatic. They have the 2 rifles, but Olaf and Crims managing their economy, not fully committing to the round. Pasha looking to take the fight, and there is aggro mid. I mean, this is solid work here from Fnatic. Put a little bit of pressure here on Virtus.Pro, but the M4 not going to be effective, and Crims in the meantime, not going to hit the shot. Snacks will hit the headshot first.
Dennis hiding at the end. Well, he was hiding. Found out as well by Bialy.
What is this? The top mid. Pasha, I guess he turned around just in time to save himself there because it looked to me like Olofmeister was about to get the drop on him. Instead, it's JW now. He's just hoping that VP show an ounce of mercy and let him save this AWP for the next round.
Don't think Virtus.Pro know what mercy is at this point. It's the plow that's in full effect right now. Hasha has gone down, but they're just swarming JW, coming in from every angle. There's no way he's going to save it. He even just tries to throw it even further, but please. They're going to steal the AWP as well, just to add insult to injury and make it a 6-2 scoreline. Playing on the T side of Mirage. This is very bad news for Fnatic.
Exactly. This is what you always have to worry about with Virtus.Pro. That's the T side. They're so finely tuned. And before they let things get out of control, before they really let Fnatic take off, they've already made adjustments. They're realizing the individual plays aren't working for us. Let's go back and start playing as a unit. And here's the opening kill. JW trying to make it happen. It's not. Pasha, 2 kills for him with the help of Snacks in mid. That mid aggression for Fnatic, again, back-to-back rounds where they're trying to push top mid. It just gets slapped down this time around.
The first kill there on JW. His 2 teammates in Flusher and Dennis, who are pushing mid, they need JW's watch him from behind. So when they call in on the radio and say, "You got our back, right, JW?" and no one answers, it's like, oh no, that's very bad news. There's no chance. They couldn't do anything. There's nothing to hide behind. They just had to hope that they get instant headshots, and at least they have not lost this round yet. Crims and Olof there, gravitating towards the A side of the map. Olof going to win that fight, and he's still got some health left. Flashbang out once. Molotov going to force him out, and he actually makes it past.
How does he get out of that alive? Snacks. Bit of a drop there, because that was a real chance. But now we get back to basics, the essentials. VP, you know that Fnatic either they have to gamble, put 2 players on one site, or you're going to be running into 1 defender on the site when you push in. So you're going to go in as a pair. Pasha looking the wrong way, unfortunately for him. And Olafmeister, he's ready. That's just like that. The whole situation has changed. Now Snacks has to just step out there, and he wins the duel. That is key. Crims, is he going to start rotating or not?
He's already on it, but I'm wondering if Crims couldn't have got the angle to shoot Snacks in the back then. I'm not sure. He was in CT spawn. I think he could have maybe gone for it. There might have been a slight miscommunication there. 1-on-1. Crims versus Snacks, and this is very important for Fnatic. Again, all about momentum right now for them. Get back in the game and start to feel a bit better. Smoke is up as well. Crims trying to see if he can walk in, but Snacks going to take him out. Triple kill here for the star player Virtus.Pro in every sense. I mean, if you look at his rating on LAN for the last couple of events, it's unreal.
Yeah, and this event is no different. Snacks continues to just be a monster. But that's the kind of situation that Fnatic in their prime would win, right? You're coming through in the clutch. Both 1v1 situations so far have gone VP's way. But that used to be the main strength of Fnatic, their ability to just insurmountable odds to make their way through them. And so now, well, VP 7 rounds, Fnatic ecoing once again, and it's just not feeling like Fnatic are ever really going to get their economy back under him here to actually have the money to go for a full buy.
No, they're having a really tough game at the moment. Hard to really do anything about right now, especially when you don't have the money half the time. And they've tried to swap it out. They've had Dennis aggressive in ramp. They've had the mid pushes, and everything gets shut down, it seems. What is left if you're on the Fnatic team? Because this is, you know, they started playing default, and so let's go default spread, see if our default works against Virtus.Pro. It doesn't. Okay, swap it out for aggression. That doesn't work either. Eventually, you just run out of things to try.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because now it's Dennis. He has to hit that headshot. It's not going to happen. Crims puts up a fight with that CZ. Not going to pick up the second kill. But Flusha from short did manage to add in just the 1. Man advantage here for Virtus.Pro still, and JW gets caught in CT, and that pretty much cinches it here for VP. There isn't a whole lot that Olafmeister can hope to achieve. Was there an AK dropped? Where did Flusha get his kill from? It must have been in connector, and so Olafmeister now, he's just hoping he can maybe just dart up here, pick up that AK, and run.
That'd be good news for Virtus.Pro. They're on to it. Olof not going to make it out. He had the idea. It was tempting. Not this time.
No, not meant to be. But now it is, after all of these rounds of eco. Here we go. And this is how Fnatic are going to change up the strat. They're just going to try and play to their strengths. Aim fights. All right, great. Go double up. And let's try and get a pick. If we can catch VP getting over-aggressive, if VP continue to go 1-3-1 with players out on the flanks, you have 2 ops holding the flanks. Those are duels that you can win and that you can get something out of. But JW decides to take his AWP into connector. Looking top mid, no targets just yet.
Oh, guy already crossed. Here's going to be a big chance. Oh, but he moves just out of the way. Now they're getting a bit closer. Flick does land on Neo. Very nearly drops him. That's not a bad shot at all. Now he's going to go back and play even more defensively. But again, it's mid-control almost for free here for Virtus.Pro. And trying to make their way past to see if they can maybe get this A-bomb side.
That's got to be maddening for JW. That's 2 shots that he gets wall bangs, no kills. He's like, please, let me get a kill with the op. I'm hitting the flicks. I'm doing the hard part. Clearly it's not enough. VP, with a minute left, content to sit and wait. They're going to get the smoke down to block off CT. Dennis, however, will find the first kill. That takes down Neo, and Dennis with 2.
3 men on the A-bomb side for Fnatic. That's such a good read. That's the main reason why this does not work out for Virtus.Pro. There's 3 men on the A-bomb side, plus a guy near window room. That was JW falling back there. So I think Virtus.Pro probably felt like, well, we've got A ramp covered. We've got window room from the ladder room. We can look in there. And we've got 3 men in connector. This should be a really good A attack. Just no way to know that there's 4 people on that side of the map. And obviously no way to know that Dennis is going to pick up those 2 kills either. So that is finally a job well done for Fnatic, and even better here, JW gets a kill on Pasha. Slowly but steadily, it's working out.
Some vintage op fights here on Mirage. With all of these short smokes and the window smokes that get thrown out, oppers are finding it very difficult to find that initial duel at top mid, and Olofmeister will catch Taz on the flank once again. And so this time around, that double AWP, it's working wonders. It's going according to plan here for Fnatic. But yeah, Pasha, maybe a dent in the desk. Might not be too happy about losing that duel.
Especially as Olof picks up the 2nd kill there to take down Taz. Finally, they get the refrag. Neo picking up the orb, which he can do. It's not just some weird, freaky situation. We've seen that many, many times from him. JW crouching in. It's going to be the perfect angle. Anybody could have hit that shot.
And Olofmeister with the 2nd. So, it's just the ops. Everybody with an op, chime in, get kills. JW, you gonna do it? No, Bialy. He ruins the streak. There's the headshot. A follow-up from Bialy in a 1v2 now. Can he know that Dennis is on the site, though? This is where it gets tricky. Last time around, exactly last round, Dennis was playing Shadow. He's playing Ramp. That's where he expects to find him. This is Crim's turf, but Dennis was occupying it this time, and he finds Bialy looking the wrong way. Easy kill for Dennis, but more importantly, a 4th round on the board now for Fnatic.
A bit frustrating, I think, for the Fnatic team, because they lose one of those AWPs there. So they've got one on JW, but the double up is gone. That's a shame, because it was obviously working quite well, and you would want to see how Virtus.Pro responded to it, right? What was going to be the answer for the Polish side? This time they're out of money. Finally, Fnatic have actually managed to break their economy.
I'm curious to see. JW trying to buy a little bit of time once again in window. 4 smokes in play here for Virtus.Pro. They're clearly setting up. Neo has been like staring down at the ground for so long now. Finally, he throws the smoke. And it's going to be the connector smoke as well on A. Really trying to sow confusion in the ranks here, Virtus.Pro, making it as difficult as possible for Fnatic to get an accurate read.
That Molotov, though, is great, because now the rest of Virtus.Pro are walking in catwalk, and they need to move pretty soon, but they have to wait for the Molotov to get be gone in apartments. And actually, Olof going to go aggressive with the flashbang as well. He knows he's up against pistols, and he's just going to get the kill and fall back. That smoke helping him, and that was Virtus.Pro putting it out. So everything working out great for Olofmeister. He's going to take a couple of more kills with him here for the triple. And Fnatic winning 5 rounds here. It was a slow start for them, but now something actually is working.
It's starting to wake up a little bit there. Olofmeister getting just a little bit of a lucky break with the timing of his flash. He was a dead man otherwise, but that flash went off right in the face of the guy who was about to peek him. And so sometimes it's just got to work that way. Fnatic 5 rounds on the board. Double op again here now for them. So going back to what's worked so far in this half for themselves, seeing if they can't find those picks. It's Olofmeister in mid, though, this time. And JW looking for the peek into pit, hoping to find Bialy.
Oh, man, if these smokes go down right, Crimson and JW are going to have a very hard time helping each other out. Neo, he does have a Molotov for Crims as well, so this could get really rough. Let's see if it's going to work out. Groot, strong kill for JW. Actually, he's out of shadow now, so the Molotov not going to affect him. JW hitting one more shot, and there's the backup. Crims picking up 2 kills. Big defense coming up here. JW with a triple, and Fnatic finding a 6th round. Man, there were so many things happening in those 3 seconds. So obviously JW, the entry is so important, because otherwise he gets isolated quickly. But Crims goes up out of shadow, so the Molotov that Neo throws in does nothing to him at all. That's very, very important.
He was hiding in the smoke on the balcony. It's like the last thing that Virtus.Pro are going to expect at that point. But it's great to see JW hitting shots with the AWP again.
Yes.
For the longest time, he lacked confidence in his ability to use a sniper rifle. He went to sawn-off shotgun, swag 7. I mean, just buying all sorts of random stuff that you didn't really see from any other pro. But again, Virtus.Pro going for that collapse on a mid. They were hoping that Fnatic would try and go aggressive here, trying to set a trap, but it doesn't really pan out for VP this time.
Just that they're doing some weird acrobatics on the other side. I think they wanted to boost into the window, but just so many grenades flying back and forth that it's all become a bit strange at this point. 15th round, last of the half here. JW looking for anyone's feet in that shadow, and the smoke there turns around, so he's actually let Snax pass somehow, and obviously it's Snax, so that smoke is just like a second home for him. Can navigate it all day long. Now he's in the B bomb side. JW in the window, and he gets the kill on Pasha, so now Snax is realizing, wait a minute, what the hell is going on?
Does he wait to try and get the kill, though? Olofmeister not going to be able to make it back towards that B site. It's all on JW, and he's never going to expect Snack to be in kitchen already. And so now, Flusha on short. He's kind of trying to hit this shot. They both miss. He does get the tag down to Snax, but no kills. And Flusha gets challenged by Bialy, wins the fight. A double op situation now that Crims is about to walk into, and he's alone in a 1v2.
What a grotesque round. Crims has to try and save it against the 2. Right now, just hanging out by the cash register, but Snax and Neo, they've got a perfect line on him here. I mean, he's got to do something, obviously, and tries to crouch in. Snax going to be able to take him out. 9-6, favoring Virtus.Pro first half here, with Pasha on 14 kills, 13 on Snax. It's not like Fnatic haven't got a lot of kills. They've done just fine in the kill department. It's just that they've lost some important clutches. At least, I think the 7th and the 9th round, 6th and 9th round were both down to a 1v1. So if they just won one or both those clutches, it could have been more interesting. And they would have forced the eco earlier on Virtus.Pro. But yeah, very slow start for the Swedish side.
Yeah, it wasn't until they actually got the economy later on that they were actually able to have an impact. So, I mean, Olofmeister, you're counting on him to hit his shots. CT side, haven't really seen him shine too much. Olofmeister has really stepped up in this group phase so far on T sides. When he's able to just take the fight, he gets that AK, and he looks to open up sites. We saw yesterday what he was capable of versus Misfits, where he was just plowing through them, getting like double, triple kill openers on the A site, just walking right through, getting headshots everywhere. So that is going to be key here for Fnatic. They need this man right here to really step up and lead the way for the team. They need to be able to just follow him onto bomb sites through just like a mound of corpses.
See what they are going to do, Fnatic. The second half is coming up here. If you're just joining us, then a big welcome. We are not even halfway through the day. There's going to be another 2 best-of-3s coming up after this series. So you've got to just settle in, get some snacks, get something to drink, and just have a good time, because there's going to be a lot of great Counter-Strike coming today and tomorrow, and then it's even continuing on. This is quite a long tournament in that sense. A lot of best-of-3s in this current format. Oh, and there's Bialy opening up, headshot, taking down Dennis. He follows up, actually, Snax taking that kill, dropping Flusha. Now they need to win it. Olofmeister running in with a Glock, and he's going to isolate Bialy in the corner, but it's still a 2-on-4.
And he loses his teammate in the process. Crims gets caught by Taz in the open. JW lurking top mid has been spotted, so the element of surprise is lost there. And Olof, he realizes, I just have to take the fight somewhere. I've got to take a kill. Unfortunately, he's the one who dies, and Snax with the last kill on the round as well. Double digits now for VP, 10-6. They win the pistol after winning the T-side pistol as well. Virtus.Pro, strong starts in both halves now.
Man, they really are completely merciless here. First half performance, you know you're already nearly getting the map. You win the pistol round here, and then you invest into all these SMGs. Yeah, they must be feeling great at the moment.
Like, sure, in UMPs, I mean, why not? Get up close. See, there it is. Just
trying a bit more. Taz actually going to get the kill on Dennis there, so at least there was that. JW gets 2 in return, so and a round here where Fnatic managed to do quite a bit of damage to the Virtus.Pro side. Not sure if it's going to be enough for them to win it. JW nearly with the triple. C-set 75 coming into play, but he only had 2 bullets left and 3 targets, so usually that doesn't work out.
Maths.
Maths. It's possible, but
that's where you have to go.
You need the other team to cooperate really heavily for that to work out.
You need to channel your inner config. Get that knife.
Yes.
Don't need bullets for the knife.
Throw the knife, maybe?
This isn't COD, Anders.
Oh, you're right.
11-6.
Also, how would it work if you had the Krambit? I don't know how easy it is to throw one of those things.
Have you never watched a Kung Fu movie?
Or even the flip knife. How does that work? Snacks, very aggressive and against unarmored targets. Can't really blame him, though he's somehow not winning the fight at the moment. Oh, they're hitting headshots and it's doing no damage at all.
Just Glocks all day. Is he gonna get any help? Like, there's the follow-up flash. That's nice work. He's gonna have to get some kind of help from a teammate though if this is gonna work out for him. Neo is rotating to short. Neo with the smoke, no flash. So Snacks, and if they decide to rush him in force, he's in a bit of a tight spot. Pasha looking to go aggressive, runs close quarters. Risky business from him. Takes one guy with the P250 there to ruin his day. But they realize the situation. He's managing to pick up 2 kills with that UMP. A lot of money goes in his pocket. Could be picking up a 3rd one here as well. Dennis, no way. Make it happen, Dennis. No!
What is going on?
Oh, no. All right, that was close. That was so sick. Why didn't it work?
You so wanted that to be the case, didn't you? Not this time.
It's like, how many times do you do, like, you're just gambling, you know? It's like, oh, the troll thing, oh, they'll run past me. It actually happens for Dennis, and he gets the timing just barely off. Oh,
oh God. And actually, Pasha, you guys can't see this, but he typed him and said, nice try, baby. So, have to appreciate that. Dennis with a smiley face in return. Now, a 19th round coming up here. 12-6. Virtus.Pro doubling the scoreline of Fnatic, who honestly seem a bit lost on this Mirage map. Sure, they had some good rounds that they managed to string together in the first half. Some of it were due to the AWPs, but then they were so poor for the most of it that they just couldn't really buy them again and again. Now, on the second half here, this is where you're right. You should be able to unleash all of Meister, of you. Anybody just get into this bomb site, start to run down Virtus.Pro. Maybe a bit faster, I would prefer.
I mean, I think this situation is actually starting to favor Fnatic. Look at the nade count that VP have to work with now. Only Pasha has a full set. Otherwise, you're talking about a single HE on Taz. No flashes, no smokes. So they're very limited right now, VP. This favors a situation where you're going to come running around a corner with AKs, get that one-shot headshot. Fnatic want duels. This is their playstyle. So now I think they actually have the edge here in this round. Unless Pasha can be the magic hero, you know, here to actually get those nades into play. Neo wins the duel versus Crims. That was on short. Nobody there to trade, but Dennis will be able to take a fight with Taz and win it.
JW is about to realize there's nobody actually on the A-bomb side. Bialy is down towards the ramp, so gotta be careful when they rotate in. If Bialy hears them running up connector, he could turn around and stop the bomb from getting in there. And in fact, Neo is going to be in charge of doing just that. Dennis goes down. 4 versus 3 and 20 seconds left. It's now or never, and there's Bialy going down. But then Pasha's there with a refrag. JW, that was such an important kill. Now they're practically out of time. They're running on to B with 10 seconds left. If there's any stop in this, and Snacks is there, he hears them running in 8-7 seconds. I mean, this is almost impossible now. Trying to plant in the corner with 4 seconds left. Snacks is going to be charging in, isolating Flusher, and there's the headshot, leaving Olofmeister. 1 versus 3, and he's down to Neo.
What fantastic work from Snacks. What a pleasure to watch. Just doesn't rush it, takes his time, and waits until it's a 1v1 that he's guaranteed with, because there's no time left for Flusher to fake the plant. He has to stick it. Snacks knows he's in a 1v1 at that point. He lines up everything to his advantage, step by step, and he knows he has Neo to support him on short as well. So it's just an unwinnable position there for Fnatic, a nightmare. And well, now Fnatic have to force. They have to spend the money. But they're going to be so limited. It's just going to be AKs and 3 smoke grenades. This is the buy that they're able to put together. I mean, you have to wonder, right? Where's the guy who's going to take a hit on Fnatic with this kind of roster? Is it JW who's going to go for Tech-9 so they can have some nades to work with? Dennis? Crims? I mean, everybody going for AKs like this leaves you wanting when it comes to the nade game.
Yeah, what I don't mind that you go a bit slow here, but you got 3 smokes, so once you commit to something, you sort of have to just try and rush it. I mean, you can't just, you know, throw a smoke and see if it baits anyone out, and then, you know, hopefully Virtus.Pro will push, because then you just run out of smokes very quickly. So set up in a position, but once the word is called in for, then it's time to really go for it. Already on smoke being used to the window there. That means they've got 2 left, and that's a problem.
And JW, what is this? He catches Neo looking into the wall? Was there some communication going on there between Neo and Pasha? Because Pasha was in position to support Neo.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Well, that's the opening that Fnatic need. They're desperate at this point, Anders. They'll take anything. A kill on Neo. Weakens the defense here on B, but they're still content to leave Pasha alone. It's Snacks, Taz, and Bialy over on the A site right now, expecting Fnatic to try and collapse here. And with Dennis and Pit, bomb rotating to Pit as well on Flusha, this might work out in Virtus.Pro's favor.
Dennis setting up for the smoke, as you can tell. Taz and Bialy, they don't have a lot to buy time with, but Olaf goes down. Fnatic, if you want any chance of a comeback on this map, you need to win this round. You just had the advantage. Now it's a 4-on-4, and again, the time, they've got nearly nothing left. 25 seconds. If Taz just stays alive, they can't Molotov him out. Krims gets a kill on Pasha, but now they line up right in front of Taz. He's only going to get the one kill. He can't transfer that, and Krims will drop Bialy. Looked like he had enough time, Taz, there to pick up both the kills. Fnatic make their way on the site, and Snacks don't see him running for this.
Not this time. Save the op. If somebody's going to be kind enough to give him a kill, he'll be plenty happy to take that. But this is a 7th round on the board here for Fnatic. And this off of just Snacks rotating out of window. Committing to B. They try to cover their ground, VP, and basically just gamble by putting 2 players on each site. And that's where you kind of wonder, right? Is it worth it to do that? Are you spreading yourself too thin? Because with the initial setup, it would have worked perfectly. And Pasha wasn't even committed fully to the B side either. If you're playing short and nobody's coming short, you have a way out. I don't know. Interesting to see how this round played out at least, but Fnatic are going to be happy about it. 3 AKs saved for them. And another chance at the comeback here.
Bit being given to them. 6 rounds down. You can run this back. It is still possible to make a comeback from this scoreline on Mirage, but it's just that you just don't have the confidence watching right now, Fnatic. They're not winning these rounds sort of overwhelmingly where, oh, you know, this is the Fnatic lineup that everyone was hoping would be here. It's still a bit out in the distance. Grenade gonna land on ramp, and look at the damage being done. Snacks following up with a kill on Flusher, but the rest of Fnatic already tagged up quite a bit. Olaf with a return though, and taking down Bialy. 4 versus 4. This is it, Fnatic. Can they get the spray through? Nearly taking down Taz. One more bullet would have done it. Flashbangs are in, but it also hits Olafmeister, so he can't even do anything about it.
This is the power of Olafmeister that we saw yesterday, however. He's just leading the charge fearless. Nearly gets the kill on Taz, but then he follows up, manages to clear out CT. That leaves Neo alone in a 1v3, walking into a Fnatic that have already set up with the post plants. What can you really hope to do here if you're Neo?
He needs some of them to come and peek you, and he's hoping that it's going to be JW behind there. It will be Neo getting the kill. He's still got the smoke. He could force them out, but no kit. So actually, even with the smoke, you have to assume there's not really going to be any time for it. A headshot on Dennis. He's going to tap the bomb once, jumping up on top, but Olaf, he's not showing himself just yet. And now I think Neo's simply run out of time here. If he had a kit, it would be different, but Olaf, he's in the corner. He's going to get the headshot on Neo, but even if not, that would not have been time for it. So still great attempt from Neo. Very well done. 13-8 though, and the money for Virtus.Pro is broken again.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place now. You have 2 players who can buy, and I like this kind of call. Snacks, even Snacks, you can go, why not just go double scout or something along those lines? I mean, he's got 5,000 in the bank right now, and it's going to be the shotgun here for Snacks. Rest of the team, Hardy, go pretty much. Whereas Fnatic, they know that they've broken the back. They know that VP are out of cash. And we're out of cash too, because we still haven't seen the map.
No, it was the 3rd map in the last one where we never got to it. It hasn't been played at all in the tournament otherwise. Bit of damage to Flusher, but he only has a Mach 10, so I'm not that worried. Neo, though, with the scout is always actually going to be worrying. I mean, on multiple, this and on train, we've seen Neo sometimes just goes off and hits headshots all the way through with the scout. I don't quite know how, but
you're hoping that we do get the train here, because that would be the first time we see train so far in this tournament as well.
Very true.
So, no 2-0. Let's go 3. Let's actually see a new map.
Oh, the setup here. Snacks and Taz towards ramp. P250 in the hands of Taz, so he's going to draw the initial distraction. Snacks with a Mach 7. We all know what that means. Coming around the corner, Snacks looking for it, but he misses. That's unusual. But a very good sign for Fnatic. So the whole trap that they had with 4 people there, all going to fall apart immediately.
Yeah, and Fnatic just playing very solid. They're playing to their strengths here. Just make that deathball unit, right? This is what made them so powerful back at the end of 2014, 2015. And monsters, because they could basically put a man out on the extremity and then have that deathball unit just rolling together. And you saw, it's like if you have that kind of aimers like Olafmeister, like Krims, like everybody just kind of grouped up together. If you peek them, you're dead. Olaf with the double entry onto the site. Pasha not going to find a kill, unfortunately for him. And so very quick end to the round here. 13-9. VP still in the lead. And they are going to commit to the buy here, Anders.
Yeah, I mean, the buffer that they had, the 6-round lead when it was 13-7, has really, really shrunk now. considering every other round more or less from here on out is going to be an eco for Virtus.Pro if they can't win it, that's something to consider. Suddenly the gap doesn't seem that big any longer. Snacks in the middle, he hits that shot on JW. It looked like it was about to be a double. The guy crossing could have been legged as well, but at least they avoid that.
And elects not to go for the repeak either, showing some clever play here. Snacks changing up his position instead. Not going to get lucky through the smoke this time around. But he's making it difficult here for Fnatic to get a read. And what? Flush, I thought he was just going to go running right through the smoke there. That would have been chaotic. And that might have actually created a space, but nobody was close for him to really rush down with that Mac 10, although he might be able to run into Snacks. And that timing, it could work out perfectly here. Snacks not going to be able to hold. Unfortunately for Flusha, though, he's down to 22 HP.
Yeah, but he even spots out Taz, gives the information to Dennis. He picks up the kill. Now still a 2-on-3. More than a minute left, so they have plenty of time to find these duels. Right now, I'd much rather Fnatic wait and see if they can have Virtus.Pro make a mistake here. And you can tell Virtus.Pro being quite active, running across the map, but Olofmeister, that's a lot of noise being made. Pasha definitely heard that. He's checking underpass to make sure that wasn't where he heard it. Neo gets the kill on Olof, and now Crims with the bomb. He needed Olof to create the space. He's going to be sneaking in. Long range spray. It's the headshot. And Crims has not had a very good game so far. It's time for him to really step it up, but he just has no idea where Pasha's playing from. And that will be 14 rounds for Virtus.Pro. Man, that was some chaos in that bomb site.
Yeah, that was nuts. But both, I mean, you're saying, you know, Krim's kind of lacking right now. Bialy as well is struggling. We're not really seeing the kind of level that we expect from him right now. He is one of the key players here for VP. You kind of look to Snacks, Pasha, Bialy really to lead the charge for this team. So there's a gap in the A defense there that Fnatic can look to take advantage of if they can keep looking for duels with Bialy. If he's not hitting shots, that is something that you're going to take note of. But we're back to the basics here for Fnatic once again. Although this time they've kind of changed it up. It is going to be that late collapse onto mid with a single man, Olofmeister working his way through underpass, but Crimson Flush are at top mid, and they are looking like they want to try and go for the split onto A through connector here.
Not that many grenades for the Swedish side, so again they must be slightly careful. And this setup for Virtus.Pro is one that very heavily counters grenade pushes anyway, because they've got two men on the bomb side, and Snacks, I suspect that if they do try and smoke him off, he's just going to challenge it. He normally does that, where he just jumps up on the box anyway to try and take the fight. Olof down to 1 health. Yeah, better get out.
Good prediction on it. Oh!
Oh no.
I was about to say.
From the fire right into the flames, he escaped the Molotov. You got to give him that.
And JW's just desperate. He wants to make this op work. Give the man something to work with here. Some kind of peak. 84 HP left, and Taz obliterates Dennis as he tries to make his way out through pit. It's all on JW now. Flusha not quite in position yet to support him, although he's getting close. Over in jungle, Flusha will catch Pasha, but it's still a 1v3 here for Flusha. 30 seconds left, and his last grenade just been used. There's the flash looking for the shot, but he's not going to get it. Snacks instead hits the timing, full blind, still gets the shot.
24 kills on Snacks, 22 on Pasha, and 15 to 9. Map point favoring the Polish powerhouse. They're such an incredible team. It is just never boring to watch Virtus.Pro play Counter-Strike. And even though they stumbled a bit, there was a 3-round streak here in the second half for Fnatic. Those are also the only 3 rounds they got in the second half here. And now Virtus.Pro is back in the lead here. Taking down Flusha is Snacks in the middle. And you have to assume Fnatic they know what time it is. They've got no rifles and really almost no utility.
No, it's the Hail Mary time. If Dennis can make something happen like Galil. There's Snacks. I like it. The cheeky flash. Not going to find anybody top mid. Little does he know Olofmeister crouching beneath the window, and it doesn't look like Neo checked the angle. So there's a little bit of danger here. He might be able to work his way up connector. Currently, it's Taz holding outside of connector, though, and Taz spots him, looks to take the fight, and it's not going to happen. Olof backs off just in time.
Neo tickling Olofmeister with the M4. Only fun for one of them, obviously. Ticking past the minute mark. Taz actually going to change places with Olof. Comes running back out, and Olof, that must have seemed like a magic trick to him, because he just comes back where he just was, and suddenly there's a player. Crim's the last one left, 1 versus 4 in the Tech 9. At least he has the bomb, but it's got a lot of bullets. Not quite enough, I think, to take down all 4 members of Virtus.Pro. And Crim's just all over the place. Tries to go for the fight. Takes both of them down. And steals the AWP. Still does not have the bomb picked up. He left it on the side. Otherwise, maybe he could have made a run for the A-bomb side. Now Crim's going to go for the fight, but Neo takes him down. 69 favor of Virtus.Pro. First map going their way in the best of 3. Not obviously done yet, but That seemed, I think, like a very confident victory for Virtus.Pro.
Comfortable. They lost, I mean, and you're right to point this out, right? Fnatic, when they were managing to actually put rounds on the board, it was like they were chaining rounds on the board, but then VP are so good at adapting. This is the true power, like the depth of this roster is the fact that they can just rely on 3 years of experience and strats with each other and just figuring things out. They know all of their tendencies, and really when it comes time to just make small adjustments, they have this whole repertoire of strats to pull from. It's what makes them so incredibly dangerous, Virtus.Pro. Not only the fact that you got crazy aimers like Snacks, like Pasha and Bialy on your team, even though Bialy really wasn't here this server on this map. He didn't really show up. He didn't really step up at any point on that A defense.
No, I mean, he didn't have like one of those crazy Bialy performances, but I guess they didn't need it that much. I mean, he was just sort of hanging out and letting everyone else do the work there. You look at the body language on Fnatic there. You see Olaf was just staring down into the ground. The Flush had his hands up, you know, not looking like a team that's very confident about what's coming next, which is going to be Cobble, obviously. And that's one hell of a map for Virtus.Pro.
Exactly, and they've had plenty of experience on it so far in the tournament. So I mean, it is still, I think, a situation that favors VP, but you can never say die when it comes to Fnatic. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be getting into the second map of this best of 3.